Hey guys, I'm Evan and this is Magnolias in Sunlight, and today is day 21 of DIY or Die, my series where we make a Halloween inspired DIY project every day in the month of October. And if you recognize this shirt, well yes, it's the same one I had on in yesterday's video, because I'm filming all of these intros together because it is day 2 of our Anthro terrain inspired Halloween project series. Yesterday we made a tic-tac-toe board for our coffee table and some candle charms that I am absolutely in love with. And then today we're going to dive into some bigger projects, not more difficult, just actually bigger. I found this cat lamp on the Anthropologie website, and I do think it's part of their normal range. I don't think necessarily this is Halloween decor, but I thought it would fit in nicely, and I like holiday decor that we can incorporate into our homes all season long. I made a moon mirror with crystals hanging from it, and while it does give those celestial Halloween vibes, it also is something that would be really pretty in a gallery wall, and you don't have to pack it away and only use it 1 month out of the year. I get the same vibes from this lamp. If you're a cat lover, this lamp could be really cute in your house all year round. At Halloween, it's even better because it's black cat vibes. Even though we're gonna gild this cat, it's gonna be gold. We're gonna get pretty close to this original photo, but using a thrifted lamp and a thrifted lampshade. And then I hunted for days, multiple trips to the thrift store. I hunted forever to try and find a cat figurine that I could thrift, and I just couldn't. So I will link the one that I got down below, but check your thrift stores. I feel like cat figurines are super common, and I just, for some reason, struck out on this adventure. And then we're going to incorporate our houseplants again. I have already done one houseplant video, but as a houseplant person, I gotta do another one. There's too many houseplants in this house to ignore them, and so we're going to make a web trellis so that we can add some little spooky vibes to some of our trailing plants. So let's dive in and get these projects knocked out, and then keep an eye out for tomorrow's video where we'll do 2 more Anthro-inspired projects. Alright guys, so for this first project we're making our cat lamp. And I went to the thrift store looking specifically for a lamp that has a base and then the arm coming out the back of the base, because we need room for our cat to sit on. And this cat I thrifted so many days. I looked multiple weekends at the thrift trying to find a little figurine cat, and I couldn't. I thought that would be home run, no problem finding. I found velvet, which you'll see in a coming video, on the day that I needed to find velvet at the thrift store, but I could not find a silly little cat statue. So this one is from Amazon. I will link it down below so you guys can grab the exact same one if you like the way this turns out. But then yes, we needed a lamp. So I ended up with this office desk lamp. It's very modern. It does work. I didn't check it at the thrift store, which now I know you should do that. I just went on vibes and the right shape. So you see it has a platform, and the arm of the lamp comes out the back. So now our cat can sit on this platform and have a little home without interfering with anything. So this was $5.99. It is silver, and it was kind of slightly broken, which is why I think it ended up at the thrift. But a little Allen wrench right there, and I tightened everything back up, and it's perfect. And then I turned around and I found this lampshade, which I was like, it's black and it's so, I don't know, it's like a perfect Halloween shape lampshade. I don't know how to describe that, but that taper of it, it was just perfect. So I'm going to go spray paint. Well, I'm going to clean this up first because it needs a good scrub. Tape off all of our electrical, which you'll see when we hit the spray paint. And then we're also going to spray paint this. We're going to leave the shade as is. Give it a little lint roll. It was $5.99 as well. I don't know if I said that about the lamp. It was also $5.99. So all in, this project is less than $20 or around $20 to make a really cute cat lamp. And then I do have an idea. I think we're gonna magnetize the bottom of this cat and put it on the lamp, and then when Halloween is over, we can pull it off and we could find a gold Christmas tree or something to put on this lamp and just kind of seasonally interchange our little decorative object. I think that would be a really fun way to bring in a lamp and make it multi-use, multi-seasonal. Again, if you're a cat person though, and you just love this little guy and you want a cat lamp, go for it. This is the project for you. So let's go scrub this up and start spray painting. Okay guys, so we have our cat and our stand painted, and I really wanted to see if I could make this magnetized, because then I can take the cat off, and I mean honestly you could just put your cat here whenever, like for the holiday, and then put something else there. But in case you're worried about it getting knocked over or whatever, I thought these really strong magnets could be a really cool solution. So we got these, and I will link them down below. And then I drilled a little hole that is the same size as our magnet. And I gotta be careful because these are so strong, it keeps getting attracted over there. And I'm gonna put a little bit of glue, and then I'm gonna put this magnet in the hole, and then our cat sticks. And it's like, with one magnet, not easy to get off. With two, it's totally gonna stay in place. So now for the holidays, like I can do a Christmas tree at Christmas time, and then I could do like a gold bunny for Easter, and this could be our little seasonal lamp that continues to change out. Put a bead of glue around the edge, and I'm just going to see, they're super strong. Slide this into place. And I want it level. You could just glue them on, but then you have a gap under the cat and the base, and I didn't want that. I wanted it to be like it's part of this. I want it to look like it's all one piece. Okay, so now we just let that super glue dry. All right, so we have our desk lamp and we have our shade, and once this is level, it really stays where it is unless you knock it really hard. But obviously there's not like a harp or a way to attach this lamp shade to this style of lamp, which is something I was concerned about when I bought all of these pieces. But I figured with a piece of gold wire, we can just pretty easily wire the lampshade to this light mechanism. And then luckily, because the on-off switch of this lamp is actually on the cord, nobody's going to be up in here. We're just making sure that it's not going to like constantly fall off. I'm going to do one more loop of wire right over here, and then I'm going to go set this up and you'll see it in the reveal. So we're gonna let the gold spray paint dry outside, and we're gonna get started on our web. So what you're gonna need is a bamboo hoop. I have these for my houseplants normally, so when I saw this project, I thought, cool, we can easily make that. And then you're going to need, I will also, I should say, link these down below in case you don't already own these. And then some wire. This is just some craft wire that's pretty bendable and easy to work with. And so we're just going to start off by making like an X and a line through that X. So I'm going to start on this side by coiling our wire fairly tightly and making kind of like a spring. And then we can use our needle nose pliers, or these are really flathead pliers, and just push that down so that we don't have any rough wires sticking up, and even connect that. So then we're gonna go across, and these have a tendency to kind of bow in. I would like this to be parallel, so I'm gonna try and keep that shape while I do this and kind of force it into that position, and then we can also do it when we put the stake in the ground. But if this is too tight, we won't ever get that parallel. And then take our wire cutters and chop that. Use our other pliers to put this back in place and clean up that edge. So there is step one. Let's see if we can do here, here. Let's see if we can do it that way. We'll try. We'll see how many of these we can get done. All right, so I went and got some of my paddle wire that is the same tone. Not that that really matters, but we're gonna spray paint it all. I just wanted everything to spray paint evenly. So we're going to go through here using this little wire and tighten all of this up so that our cross section is tacked down together. A second ago, because there's so many wires crossing, they were like gapping, and we don't really want that. So now I have the end I actually wanted to work with. We can just do kind of a cross down and around. Working through our spokes. We basically made bike spokes out of wire. Okay, so now that that's tacked down, now we can start working on the loops between. And in our inspo photo, it's basically perfectly round. But I would like to try and make it more web shaped. So I'm gonna see if I can do that. Starting from the center, using one piece of wire, or maybe we should start from up here. I think that makes, and then work towards the center. What do we think? What do we think? Let's start up here. So I'm gonna loop in here. Go underneath and then tie that in. And then make that kind of a shape. Go through once, tighten that up. And luckily this is, like I said, it's fairly bendable wire, so we can keep shaping it as we go. Okay, so we have gone all the way around and now we're here. So what I'm gonna do with the rest of this wire, I have some bits and pieces, and I'm going to just kind of loosely wrap the whole edge, because that's how they did it in the Anthro one, and I think it's cute. And it's like I said, a loose wrap, but it just kind of makes everything look a little tied together. And I have all this scrap wire now, so I might as well use it to finish decorating all the way around the edge of this. Okay, so there we have it. I did run out a little bit down here, but I think that's okay because I was more interested in getting the top wrapped, and I don't want to just, you know, go use a whole bunch of extra wire if we don't need to. So I'm gonna bend all of these the way I want them, do one last little check, and now we're gonna go spray paint this black. Okay guys, so I just broke a tripod, so we're gonna have to get a little creative with the cameras at the moment. But here is our very cool little web trellis brought in from the outdoors. And I thought the one on Anthro's website has a spider on it, and their spider is made out of metal. It's like part of the deal. But we have this leftover spider from our beaded spider projects. I ended up not using these on our web because I made my own beaded spiders, but I think it looks pretty good on here. So I'm just gonna take a bit of wire. This is left over from the lamp project. And I'm just gonna kind of create a little loop around and then wire this little guy on here. And then I also thought, because we have leftover butterflies from the butterfly project, that they might as well, or at least one of them, should find a home on here too. Because, you know, again, why not? Isn't that cute? Now we have a spider and a butterfly, and all we're missing is a plant. So let's go find a plant to add this to.